pronounce this game. I think it's Xingu. This is a game from Brazil about these tribes that are living in the rainforest that are having people encroach on them. So unlike being the people coming in, you are these tribes and you're dealing with this stuff that's coming in. The telegraph wires being built, the missionaries coming to convert you, the farmers who are building farms and are irritated that you're kind of on their land. So it's an interesting, heavy-esque game. I mean, we're talking, it says 90 minutes, 120 minutes on here. That's definitely what kind of game this is. So let's do a broad overview and we'll be back. There's way too much for me to give a quick overview of this. But what you are doing is you're going to control one area on the board. And you'll have some people in that area. And as the game goes by, you have a chance to expand your area. And that way you can fit more people and or buildings in that area to store goods. But the game is going to revolve around 5 different cards. And each round you're going to play a card. Sometimes you'll play multiple cards together to do an action. Each of the cards has multiple actions on it. So for example, I can play her along with someone else to have another person come. I'll be able to get more people that I'll be able to use. Because many of these actions require you to put people on them. Some let you expand. Some let you take these cards. These cards, when you take a card, it will bring more negative things on the board, like these farmers are attacking you. Sometimes they'll bring missionaries that you have to deal with in either in a positive or negative way. It's up to you. They can give you points, but they also stop you from having your ritual, which can get you points that way too. So the missionaries are kind of a mixed bunch. They can stop disease when that happens, because disease will sweep through sometimes. But they also, you can chase them away to get victory points. And then there's also farmers and other people who cause you all sorts of havoc. When you take a card, the card is multiple resources. You'll put tokens on it to show that you've used those resources. And then when the card's done, it's gone. But whenever you use up a card, there'll be bonus cards next to the board, and you'll be able to use your discarded cards to take these bonus cards to get bonus actions. So like I said, there's all sorts of things that you're going to be able to do with each of these cards. One of them lets you move up on a track that you have here, and moving up on this track is going to give you extra bonuses. Some are going to let you collect different goods. Having more goods will give you points at the end of the game. Some will let you expand your area. And so everything has different costs, and so you have to keep that in mind. Sometimes you put out telegraph wires. There's telegraph stations that will start on the board. And these telegraph wires, if you're next to other people's villages, will cause negative points to them. And really, trying to keep track of all this, even me explaining it, there's a lot going on. But that's the basic gist. You're going to be playing these cards, and we had to use the book a lot to figure out, like, this guy has 4 different actions that he has on him. Well, this person only has 1 action. Well, the 4 different things you can do with that action, but he's going hunting all over the place. But using these, you're going to get better and better, and either be making peace with the missionaries, but slowly chasing the farmers away, building your area bigger to get points. Also, I should mention, as you score points on the outside of the board, whenever you hit one of these spots here, you need to feed your people. And different resources will feed your people and get you more victory points. But if you don't, you move on a negative point track up here. That negative point track will also happen if you have disease, and sometimes your workers are captured by the farmers and stuck down here, and you're going to have to go break them out of prison to be able to use them again. So that's the very, very top level overview of the game. Now, I want to say that part of my playing this, everything was translated. The rules were translated. I have, sheets that tell me what all the cards do. But that's not just because it's in Portuguese. A lot of that also is because, all these cards just have symbols on them. And these cards that you play, having them do so many different things, it takes a while to get used to. Once you understand how they work, it's great. When I play the chief, I can play other cards with him to move down farther in his track. When I play this person, she can gather in areas that are next to you, but only if they match the letters here. There's a lot going on in the game. You're building sets of items at the end of the game to turn them in for points. But there's a lot of things I found to be interesting. I first of all, big hats off to the theme. I think it's really interesting. I love the way you deal with missionaries, because there's 2 ways. You could kind of bring your missionary into your camp, and as they putter around, you're getting points for them. Or you can shoo them out, you get points for that. You can go visit their camp and learn things, and it also keeps you safe, because these other guys are trying to capture your people and stick them in prison. And then there's disease that comes by, but the missionaries will have stuff that helps you. So there's kind of like this weird balance between all this stuff. The bonus cards are an interesting idea. The resources are interesting ideas. But it is a heady game to play. And because of that, it just falls shy for me. I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10 because I like a lot of the concepts. I think it's a neat idea. But I didn't have a ton of fun playing it. There was more like interesting things I'm doing. The food, I'm not sure how I feel about that, where you have to feed your people when you get a certain amount of points. Sometimes you're trying not to get points so that you don't have to feed your people. It's a weird catch-up mechanism, I guess, but I don't know that I love that idea. But I did like the card idea, the concept of I'm going to play a card, you play a card, we go around, play workers on top of these cards. But there's probably too much stuff going on. There's too many different elements going on, and it's hard to determine what gives you points. Yes, you get points for expanding your camp. Yes, you get points for collecting sets. Yes, you get points if when you feed your people, you feed with different types of food. There's a lot of great ideas here. I'm just not 100% sure, at the end, how it all comes together, if it comes together in as satisfying of a way as I want it to. But I still think it's a neat concept here, so that is this game here. You might want to check it out because you're not going to see a whole lot of this in the wild.